Hello. So there is a message that I am feeling called to share today and record. I would really love to recommit to this thing where I speak to the camera and I share my insights, my wisdom for anyone who feels called to receive the messages. This message is for anyone who has been feeling like they've fallen into a state of despair, who've been feeling defeated, who've been feeling like hope is running thin, especially after a time of being already in the darkness and coming out of it. Like for me, I feel like I've been in the shadows for a while this year. This year there's been a lot of transformation, not just externally but truly from my core. A lot of grieving of not just external situations but the parts of me that were connected to these situations. So it's a whole identity shift, and at the beginning of December I felt like I finally emerged from that. I had a big expansion, and then I felt myself closing in again. I felt myself going back into the cocoon, and though part of me knew that it takes time to fully come out of a cocoon, like for example when you think of the butterfly going through a metamorphosis, it does not go from caterpillar straight to butterfly, and even after it has turned into a butterfly, it still needs to struggle to fight its way out of the cocoon so that its wings are strong, and then it still needs to let the wings dry before it fully goes and flies out into the world. And if it skips this process, it will actually not be as strong as it needs to be to truly fly freely. And I feel sometimes we think that transition is just like A to B, but it's really like this. It's like A to B, no, A to, and then it's like sometimes it's still non-linear, within this transition. And just knowing how long I've spent in hibernation mode, in hermit mode, in the shadows, reflecting, it can become a little bit like you wonder when you're gonna get out, and at the same time you get so comfortable being there that it's so much about shedding and letting go and processing and being in the darkness. And then when it's time to emerge, it's like, can I really emerge? Like, can life truly be just light and joyful for this next season? And there's space for all of it, I guess. So yeah, just taking a deep breath before I share more. The message that I really want to share today is about how faith does not have to be perfect. Surrender does not have to feel smooth. It's okay if you have faith and you also have doubt. They can coexist. It's okay if you are struggling to surrender. It's okay if you have moments of fear within completely trusting and surrendering. And the fact that you've been feeling despair does not mean that you've somehow sabotaged the blessings that were on your way. They are coming no matter what. Even if you have fear, they are coming, the blessings are coming. They are already on their way. And sometimes we put too much pressure, we take on too much responsibility for how things unfold, when the truth is that we are co-creating with God, with the universe. when we talk about law of attraction, yes, we are the creators of our reality, but we must also remember that there is something else that we are creating with. And that even if you find yourself in a bad state, in a negative state, even if you find yourself not feeling good, even if you find yourself not trusting, even if you find yourself having limiting beliefs that may still be blocking you from what you truly want, there is something greater that even if you are quote unquote not in alignment, whatever that means, there is something greater that brings to you what is meant for you. There is no way you can sabotage it. So I wrote something earlier that I feel like sharing that perhaps might resonate with this message. I wrote a bunch of things actually yesterday and today. I'm just gonna see which parts want to be shared. I'm finally writing on A4 now. It feels so right, it feels so good for me. It's like there's space for everything now. Okay. Okay, so there's this one part I want to share here, and I'm just gonna go to different points throughout this message and elaborate on it within each point. So I wrote, I feel so defeated and in despair. I'm finding it hard to have faith. I am down. I feel depressed. I still attach some of my self-worth to external, fleeting, temporary situations. I still need proof of my faith. I still need proof to believe. I still need validation to know I'm on the right path. My faith is not always unwavering. My trust is not foolproof. My surrender does not always feel smooth or perfect. But I know this is not a sign of my failure. I know that I can turn to God always. That things don't only happen because of my faith in God, but because of God's grace and strength. Even when I may falter, God will pick it up. Maybe this despair coming up is not because I don't have enough faith, but rather a sign that I trust enough to allow myself to break down, to have moments of doubt, to be imperfect, to be human. I know without a doubt that even with my doubt, love will come in. My dreams will come true. Maybe doubt is a sign that I am dreaming big. Bigger than I ever have. Maybe it's not a bug, it's a feature of expansion. I can welcome and love this feeling of despair without judging it or pushing it away or getting lost in it. So, sometimes we think that despair and hopelessness are bad things, that we should avoid those feelings at all costs, that feeling those things are a sign that we are in the wrong place, that we are not on the right path. But what if those feelings and those things coming up are actually signs that you are expanding beyond what you have ever known? You are growing past a point that you've ever been. Something else I wrote. Dear one who feels despair, defeat, like hope is running thin. You whose yearning, longing, desire, and potential feel so close to scarcity, lack, something missing, or being behind on time. You whose dreams feel so close yet so far. You are at a cusp. You've been transitioning. I know you are tired. Just when you get a breath, another shift comes. It's okay for many different things to exist at once. It's okay if you are losing hope. It's okay if you feel further away from your dreams than ever when just yesterday they felt so close by. This tension is not a sign that you are failing. It's a sign that you are closer than you've ever been. Maybe that scares you, that all the dreams that you've been calling in for years and years are suddenly about to rush in. Why not you enjoy your life at this very moment? God is slowing you down and hiding you a little bit. Because soon, things are going to move so quickly before you even know it. You are going to miss this old life, so enjoy it while it's here. I know you don't believe it in this moment, but you are exactly where you are meant to be. Even if you feel defeat and despair, God will usher in your dreams for you, because you have been doing your part, and now it's time to allow God to do the rest. It's coming, my love. Even if your state may change, day to day, maybe one day you feel anxious, one day you feel fearful, another day you trust, and then the next day you wonder if they are truly on their way. Trust that your dreams are ingrained in you, in your way of being, your embodiment. Every breath you exhale is a prayer for your heart's deepest wants. They don't even need to be written out into words. You know, at this time of the year, if you're watching this in December 2024, we start to think of the next year, like, okay, let me write down my goals, my dreams, but it's like you don't even have to do that, you know. Sometimes when we can't find the words to describe our dream, it's not because we don't know, it's because we don't need to. It's just beyond words. So trust that it's deep in your bones. It's in your core essence. So even if your state may change day to day, it does not suddenly sabotage the blessings that you've been calling in. The magnetism of your core spirit is much stronger than these surface shifts. I mean, of course, it's nice to be not anxious all the time, to not have fear, but you are human, and when it comes, you don't need to resist it either. In many ways, your dreams are already here, and yet it's also okay to want more. It's also okay to desire more. Rest in knowing that it's coming. And maybe God wants you to feel this despair fully instead of avoiding it, because you are meant to be pushed to your edge, to your edge of faith, and to realize that even if you may experience defeat and disappointment, there is something much greater that will hold you and bring in what's meant for you. It's not about what's right or wrong. It's about that deeper knowing that you'll always be okay, even if you don't truly know that you are okay. I'm just feeling so much positivity in sharing this because I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I've been wanting to come on, share my thoughts, share my words, to speak. And it feels like the timing is ripe now for these words to be shared after I've been simmering in this feeling of this defeat and despair for the whole of the last week. Yeah, and maybe it's okay to have moments of lack, to slip into the scarcity mindset, into the victimhood. You don't have to judge yourself when you find yourself there. Maybe the judging is what prolongs. Something else I wrote. Don't be afraid of moments of scarcity, of lack, of fear, of doubt, of insecurity, of despair, of worry, of victimhood, of looping, of spiraling, of heartbreak, of whatever is the opposite of gratitude and abundance, of loneliness, of pettiness, of shame, of anger towards God, of imperfect faith, of stumbling surrender. Don't resist your resistance. Maybe your way out of overthinking is by allowing yourself to overthink for a bit. Maybe to break out of the cycle of despair is to fall freely into the despair. Let it run its course so it can be free and tell you what it needs to. Yeah. The more we resist these feelings of hopelessness, the more they perpetuate. Your faith does not have to be perfect. Faith is something that is built into us, whether we consciously feel it or not. And the whole point of it is to know that there's something greater beyond our control. And even if you have limiting beliefs, even if you find it hard to trust, the blessings are still coming. So I have two last writings to share before I close this. So not there. Let me restart. I hope you know that even in moments of inner conflict, of waiting for something that is yet to come, of struggle, of lack, I hope you know that in these moments, love still holds you. Love holds you even when you may not feel it. Love holds you even when you might be deep in fear. Love will come to you even when you feel beat down. Love flows in even and maybe especially when you feel like you don't deserve it. Even your limiting beliefs about love will not stop love from coming to you. For love is much greater than those blockages. Love already is here, and yet it's okay to yearn for more, in different forms, in new ways that you've not experienced. Let love pour into your cracks. Let this ever-present love soothe your open wounds. Love is here and more is coming. Rest in it. So if you are someone who has been doing a lot of inner work, a lot of self-improvement, healing your past traumas and looking at your shadows, shifting your beliefs so that you can welcome more love, more beauty, more joy into your life. I think at a certain point, it's more about not needing to look at the shadow anymore. Not forever, but at least for a time where we trust what is here and what is coming in. On one level, yes, our beliefs do shape our reality. But our experience also shapes our reality. And at a certain point, the work is to go out into the world. It's to get into that relationship. It's to date. It's to put your work out there. It's to quit your job. It's to do the thing and learn from doing the thing. Learn from being open to experiencing something new so that your beliefs can change. It's a loop, right? Instead of just staying at home, going to therapy, writing, journaling, that all helps. But at a certain point, the work is to be done by living life, by getting hurt again, by feeling, by welcoming new things. And I feel like for me, I'm at a point where I am aware of my beliefs and I'm still aware that I have some wounds, I have some beliefs about my self-worth that need shifting. But I am now calling in my life to show me that I can believe something different instead of like, oh, I have this, I believe that I'm worthy, I need to believe that I'm worthy. You know, it's like, because I know that there's something much greater that will come to me, that will show me a new way. Because anyway, these beliefs come from experiences as well, you know, what we experienced growing up, our upbringing, our past relationships, our whatever it is. And I feel like it's a relationship, you know. We do the work to shift and realize that we can choose to change in this moment before we experience something new, while also allowing our experiences to shape us in a positive way. And the last writing I would like to share is, "The heart in exile says it's never too late. Follow the whispers back home to me. The heart in exile says, you may have been neglecting and abandoning me again and again. But I will never do that to you. I will never seek revenge for what you've done to me. It is never too late to come back home. It is never too late to believe again. No matter how long you've been left in doubt, fear, lack, scarcity, your hope can always be retrieved again. Let go of counting the days of heartbreak, of hurt. Time does not matter here. Your fate can change in a moment. When you are ready to return, we will welcome you with open arms. It does not matter if you've been in despair for 1 minute or 10 years straight. You can always decide to have hope tomorrow, even for 1 moment. Let yourself be made new, however long it's been." So sometimes we feel like it's almost a waste if we've been hopeless for 10 years. Like, why should we be hopeful tomorrow, right? Or we feel like there's too much to recover, you know? Or we feel like because we've done something or made choices that hurt us and hurt our heart, that our heart will not be open to us again. But to me, the heart is very forgiving, and we have to be the ones to allow that grace to be given to ourselves. Yeah, I'm just basking in my own message, feeling if there's any last final words. I think hope is a inherent thing. It's not a conditional thing as much as we may feel like it is. It's about to rain. Perfect time to end the message. Hope is not about wishing good things happen. That is part of it, but more so, hope is about trusting that whatever happens is good. And I think the inherent design of the universe is always good at a very spiritual level, even if in this realm we don't feel it. And even if you don't feel it, it's okay. You know, you don't have to force yourself to feel good all the time. So I hope this message resonated. I don't know who will watch this. I didn't expect it to run so long, but yeah, I'm glad to start this journey in this way. And yeah, sending you a lot of love and blessings.